don't want their kids to be outside, they're not going to be outside. Because they're scared of everything they see on the news. You know, there might be some creepy guy in a van going down. Kids want some candy? Yeah, we want some candy. And with the internet and stuff, it's scaring people. Yeah, they can track them now. They can track our kids. You know, and a friend of a friend could look at a screen and see your kid's profile on it, and I'm going to the park, no parents around, and go in and scoop them up, right? It's scary, right? Kids aren't having childhoods. They're not learning to become themselves, to think for themselves. Everything is security, security, security. We'll save you, we'll save you. We don't want you to scrape your knee. You know, put on an extra helmet and some, you know, more arm pads and knee pads, and everything is to whitewash reality. Keep you in a perpetual state of fear. This is the television. A lot of people would call it the tell-lie vision. As Eddie Griffith said, I wish I knew his whole spiel. I haven't seen it in many years. But he said something like, television programming. They're trying to tell you where you vision it, your own programming. That's a comedian, Eddie Griffith. If you haven't known about him, check him out. He does a stand-up where he talks about how television's programming you. It's weird. Someone who's famous can go up and tell you all about it because, and you won't believe it, but if he was in a movie, you'd be like, yeah, I saw him do that, and that was cool because you had an entertainment aspect to it, and that's what you get out of people, right? Like, what's the guy's name? I almost called him Jason Bourne because I heard there was a new movie coming out of Matt Damon. Matt Damon, come on, man. If he's not one of the most evil, some guy with strings on a puppet is doing with this guy, come on. This guy wouldn't even have a career nowadays if he wasn't pushing this anti-gun bullshit. Seems like a good person, right? You know, on the movie screen, and then when you see him in person, he's not the same, and then when you see him a whole nother light when he's told to talk about anti-gun control. Of course he's getting the high roles and he's making more money. You ain't making more money if you're talking about how guns are good. Another problem with television. We collectively create celebrities. And it's through a television set. People want to see the celebrities. They want even autographs of them. I don't know who started that shit. Autographs. Here's a baseball cap I wore in my rookie year. Here you go. I'll sign it for you. Oh my God, it's worth so much money. Who the fuck cares? Hey, who cares about a signature? Who cares? It wasn't the signature to the Constitution. It was a signature just saying his name on a baseball cap. Come on. And it's because of this, things of this nature, a lot of the shows you might watch have make you believe that things are more valuable than they should be, things are less valuable. You might see it on Fox News or something that the market has gone down, but real estate's gone up. So you think to yourself in your subconscious level, oh fuck. I just said think on your subconscious level. It doesn't make sense, right? Well, on your subconscious level, you might get that and be like, oh fuck. You know, I might not be making any more money, but the real estate market's going up. I'll never be able to get my own house. And even if I did, the mortgage would be out the roof, and taxes and all that stuff. And it discourages you. And then how they implement these little things like this is they tell you beforehand, and then it happens. They might say, well, get your money out of Wall Street because there's going to be a collapse happening. And then all of a sudden, they instill it in your brain that this is going to happen, and they just allow it to happen. It is an occult thing to bring something into your reality, like I almost said a buzzword I shouldn't have. But they put something into your reality, and they say, this is a possibility, and then it happens. It's like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was on the cover of some magazine. It might have been Time, like 2 years ago, saying that this is going to be our next president. Some years ago I seen it. And I'm like, what's going on here? And then, of course, the conspiracy-minded people, like the alternative media, is all talking about it. Like, Hillary Clinton? Are you serious? This devil? This witch? We can't have this person as our next president. We can't. She's going to be even worse than Obama. And the mainstream media is like, oh my God, we can't wait to have a first woman president. We can't wait for her. She's awesome. She dealt with so much shit because her husband was such a sex addict. This is such a good thing. And then they feed that to you years before the general election, because they implement it in your brain that this is not only a possibility, but this is probably going to happen. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. I hope that makes sense for you. But of course, once again, you need high levels of awareness and consciousness to not just comprehend it. Anyone can comprehend what I just said, but to understand it and to realize the words that I'm actually saying and why I'm saying it. Interracial couples. Yeah, this has something to do with television. You'll see interracial couples on the television, which in real life, you'll start seeing a lot less of them the further along in a relationship. There's a lot of reasons for it. Different races have different levels of IQ generally. Genders have different levels of IQ generally. You can measure IQ. But outside of the IQ thing, which is a huge role in any relationship, but outside of that is the interracial thing. And that interracial thing is, generally speaking, if you have the same ideologies, the same beliefs, the same culture, these things, same race, these things generally establish a stronger foundation. White on white, Asian on Asian, black on black, Spanish on Spanish, which actually, I always do it. I always say Spanish is a race. Spanish is not a race. But the Hispanics on a Hispanic, those generally have the best relationships that come from it, long term. Short term relationships would generally be, you know, problems, IQ, things that aren't different values, different ideologies. You realize that the person's not right from you. And this generally could happen before or after having children. But mixed races, a lot of, like, let's say white women and black guys, let's just throw that one out there. White women and black guys, generally speaking, it looks great at the beginning, right? Relationships going well, they can talk about things, they have those butterflies and stuff. But she might get pregnant.
Was reported on I-35.
And if she gets pregnant, the guy has to stay and realize, hey, this kid's gonna be a difficult childhood growing up. White mom, black dad, just a lot of differences. Is he gonna think of himself as white? Is he going to establish himself as black? Is he going to just think he's just a mixed mulatto? What are we going to name him? Are we going to name him more of an African culture? Is it going to be more of a white culture or European culture? What is it going to be? So that then all of the real shit comes on the table. Basically, I'm just trying to establish a thought in you to give you some ideas of why mixed races generally don't work. You look out in the public right now, you see a lot of people who don't stay, a lot of divorces in all races, same races and stuff. But generally speaking, at 5 to 10 times the amount of not working out, I didn't have a better term for that in the moment, for mixed races. Mixed races generally don't work out in the long run. They don't. You might have a lot of children who are mixed, but in the long run, they usually don't work out. And when you look at the media and you look at, and there's nothing wrong with them working out or not working out. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you guys, all of us are all trying to figure it out, man. We're all trying to figure it out. That's what my show's here for, the mind of Opex. But when you look on television, you see television, the movies, you see the white person, the white girl, and then the black guy, and it looks like they're married forever. But when you go out into reality, that doesn't seem to be the case. When you go look on commercials and stuff where it's smiling black guy and a smiling white girl, and they're together, in the majority of commercials are mixed. They're not just Asian or white, or you'll see the mix even in colleges. They'll mix it up. Basically trying to get you to. Commercials generally want your money, and they want everyone's money without having anyone segregated from the money. They don't give a fuck about you. They just want the money, right? But there's a higher, deeper thing than that just wanting the money from every race. You can join our college. There's a black guy here in scrubs, and then there's a white nurse, and then there's a Hispanic nurse or whatever, and we're all equal, and we accept everyone. Basically, that's how they're trying to pull it off. It's a marketing scam, but it actually isn't, because it doesn't reflect reality. You might have a lot more black people in that school than Hispanics. You might have more Hispanics than whites, or whatever. But they're trying to make it look like we have everyone coming here in the whole nine, but then when you get there, it's not the case. And then you'll see a lot of commercials, of course, like I said, interracial, a black guy and a white girl. I think that's the most typical one, right? That you find on television. But then when you go into reality, you don't see as many of those relationships. And if you do, they're generally not long-term. Generally not. There are exceptions. I have seen a black guy and a white girl, and they've been married for 20, 30 years. Beautiful kids. I adore that stuff. But I don't believe that people are realizing that it's just a fetish and it has no long-term. I mean, of course, look at the individual, but of course your race and your culture makes a difference as well. When you actually have your kids. But your television is undermining your own personal thought, just saying that, well, it's normal. It's normal. They even have a show saying it's new normal. This is normal now, guys. Everyone get used to it. You turn it on. You turn on your television. You see more murders, pedophiles, so much nastiness. And then you go onto your sitcoms. The father doesn't know any better. Just a drunk idiot. Has a stupid friend his wife doesn't like. That's like every fucking sitcom. And you're literally getting brainwashed to believe that at some point of this is, okay, some of this is fake. Obviously, the whole thing's fake, but at some point you're like, okay, some of it's fake, some of it's real, some of it matters, and it's like the same as reality. But it isn't. None of it is. None of it is. Those actors out on there are not themselves. They don't play themselves. Not one of them plays themselves. You think George Clooney plays himself? No. Do you think Will Ferrell, that's how he acts all the fucking time? No, that's not. Johnny Depp? No, that's not. That's not him. Even Johnny Depp had a point where he was asked, hey, do you watch your movies? He goes, no, right off the bat, without even skipping a beat. He said, no, I don't watch my own movies. And they're like, why? He's like, well, then I got to look at him, signifying that that's not him up there. He's who you're talking to now, you know? That's just acting. It's all fucking fake. And what they're acting on is not something that conjured up in their head. It's what they are told to act. This plot is told to them. When you think you see Matt Damon in a really cool movie, I don't know how good Jason Bourne movie was, I ain't gonna fucking watch it. But when you see a movie like that and you see, wow, he did such a great job, blah, blah, blah. Fuck that shit. There is no such thing as a good actor. There's just a good slave. Just doing exactly what you were told to do. Yeah, and then you twirl around like that, and we'll put you up on the wire, and you'll fly across the thing. Oh my god, what a good actor! You fucking out your mind retarded? Turn off your television. Stop getting brainwashed. So don't believe that these people are the way they are, or you like this actor. I like Denzel Washington, and he's a great actor. He's a great actor. If you're telling me that Denzel Washington's the same person in those movies, he wouldn't be a great actor then. He'd be just doing himself. He's created images of himself based on what his producers, what the director, and what, dare I say, the government wants him to do. And when he's portrayed in a certain light of being a great actor and stuff, it's because they made him that way. It's not because he decided to play this role this way. It's like when people were like, who do you think was the better Joker? Jack Nicholson or Heath Ledger? You know what I say to those morons? It's not the actor. It's not the actor. It's the director, it's the government, it's the producer, it's the editors. It's not them. You can't decide between them because their roles were decided for them. You think Heath Ledger came up with the idea of Joker? No. Wake up out of that slumber. I mean, it's so obvious to me. Maybe it's not obvious to you. Maybe, I don't know. I just know that the television is not just a great deceiver. It's not just a great brainwashing tool. It's a way to orchestrate your reality and mold it at their leisure. You ever wonder why something happens in the news and they have a narrative, and with that narrative comes an agenda behind it? As David Icke calls it, problem, reaction, solution. They have a problem. Now they want to gear you into a reaction that can propose their solution. They brainwash you. Sandy Hook happened. All of a sudden, gun control happens. Now there's metal detectors in almost every school. And, it's basically like this. The government kills off somebody who exposed them. They were a whistleblower. They exposed them, exposed the government in something evil that they were doing. And the first thing you hear is this: either this guy's dead or nobody talks about it. This whistleblower died all of a sudden. His car went wrapped around a pole. Yeah, it was one of those self-driving cars, just wrapped around the pole. And when you hear like something like that, you're like, oh, well, whatever. And you don't think anything of it. But if the media jumped on it, woo! Which you're not going to jump on that story. It goes against their agenda. But if you hear the media talking about something, you get a reaction out of people that agrees with the media. The woman anchor might be like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Isn't anyone else upset? Blah, blah, blah. Great actress skills. Gets you to feel what she's feeling, in any type of empathy or minimally sympathy. And you feel for it, and you're like, oh, this is bad. Yeah, you're right. But what are we going to do? Oh, you came up with the solution. Let's do it. That sounds great. We just got to fix it. That's how it works. Instead of... there's a lot of things that we need to fix in life. But you aren't going to fix it because you believe that Superman or somebody from the TV is going to jump up on stage and have a podium and a mic and say everything's going to be okay because I'm here now. Like when President Obama goes up on the podium, like Sandy Hook happened, so the president has to go up on the podium, or Hurricane Katrina happened, so we need President Bush to come up on the podium and give us a talking to, because that's at least what they need. No, they don't. They don't need television. They don't need that to happen, to portray a specific agenda designed by all aspects to brainwash you and to imply your obedience. Obey.
There is
Obey.
currently light traffic on your route.
If you're sick of being a sheep, now's the time. Turn off your television. Get out of that loop. You'll be surprised how great life is. Go into nature. Breathe in that good-ass fucking prana. Breathe in the spiritual essence of life. Get out of your house. Get your kids out of the goddamn house. Get them out of the house. They don't need to be brainwashed. While you're at it, get them out of school. This is another video for another day. This is just television, and I can go on all day about television. Are you gonna stop watching television from this video? No. No, you're not. Is it the right thing to do? You might come across that and be like, you know what? It would be the right thing to do. But, my team's kicking ass this year, and I can't stop watching that. And I like to know what the weather is from time to time. Or whatever. Whatever thing. If you're a Christian, it's Satan talking you in the ear, whitewashing you to be like, oh, it's all good, it's all good. That's not really bad. Don't see it the way he's seen it. Turn off your television. That's all. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay well. Stay healthy. Stay beautiful. Stay loving. Peace.